Okay, so no guarantees. Mother, yeah, look at me. I look like the devil, right? I'm looking kind of like the devil right now. Get this out of my face. I'm not the devil, Lena. Nobody is the devil in this house, okay? Not in this apartment. We're blue. We're sure blue. Blue as hell. All right. All right, so you got this thing going now where you had to learn that there's quite a few demons that are, that you didn't know they were. And whether you realize it or not, you're having a delayed reaction to the whole Hiram Nieves thing. What you have to bear in mind about Hiram Nieves is like he was the biggest asshole, clown, foolish schmuck that somehow charmed you. He's a charmer. He somehow charmed you into thinking he was like adorable somehow. He was hideous. Think about him. He was hideous. His head was too large, his feet were too small, his body was disproportionate. He had, big sharp teeth. And you even said he used to make these monster teeth at you when he was thinking he was being funny or cute, rolling his eyes, braying laughter like a fucking hyena, screaming around. It doesn't say anything bad about you that you were charmed by him. It says that you want to have faith in humanity. He is not humanity. So this has thrown you for a loop but you also realize at the same time that you really had not stayed in touch with him for a very long time. You didn't ask John to channel him. You didn't voluntarily say, hello, Father, I love you, or regard him in that way. And then you started just like not really thinking of him as Father Hiram. You started just thinking of him as Hiram. And then you stopped thinking about him altogether for weeks at a time. And you would always be apologetic when John would pretend he was Hiram coming through and say, oh, God, I haven't spoken to you in a while, Hiram. I'm sorry. It's because you knew. Whether you realize it or not, you knew. You were figuring it out. So this is where we're at now. Now, don't get crazy, but, I don't think there's really going to be much of anybody left when this whole thing is over. It's not looking good for anything great to happen, really. You know? Great. Mm-hmm. But we have a little while to just go through it. And I don't know. The core group. Look, we got to stick together. That includes Christopher. You're driving each other a little fucking crazy right now. This is an insane time. The energy is sick, and yes, that water is most definitely turning cerulean blue. Tell him to check the sink, and it's not. It's not a mistake. What did you say?
I just did the dishes. The water's clear. You must have something in that bottle.
Maybe it's the cup. Maybe it's the rainbow cup. Could it be? Listen, it's a good thing, so don't get upset. Is my water going to be cerulean blue now? Might be. You're a mermaid. What do you want me to say? Listen, have a sip. Just relax. Take a sip. Shut up, Christopher. Don't upset her. I can't do this right now. I do want to take a sip of water, but I can't. All right, look, you're going to delete those pictures of Hiram because you want to, not because you have to. So you don't have to cut me off and go delete the pictures of him. He has no power. He's gone. He's fucking dead, just like Freddie Mercury. They're so fucking dead. But I got to tell you something. They're so fucking dead because their own minds did it to them. Everyone's picture of hell is like, it's very Orwellian. Your picture of what you think hell is going to be is what it will be. So if you've been a really skanked out, fucking disgusting person doing weird things like sacrificing animals and people and torturing things, then that's your hell. You never did that. What'd you do? One time you hit a doggy with a little broomstick, and you barely touched him. And you punished yourself for that. You were fucking 4 years old, and you punished yourself for that for your whole fucking life. And you felt so bad, and that puppy loved you anyway, and it was not even a fucking big deal. That is extent of you're capable of being unkind. And you did it because your brother was influencing you. You don't realize it, but your brother was influencing you because you saw him being cruel to creatures and you just wanted to find out what it felt like and you hated it right away. And you gave the puppy a big hug and you said, "Oh, I'll never do it again." You cried. I know everything about you, Lena. You saw everyone around you being horrible and you just like, John did the same thing when he was little. He threw a kitten in the air. He never did it again. Same thing. You guys mirror each other exactly. He was a little boy. He did the same thing. He thought, this is evil. I will never do this again. I love that kitten. Fuck this shit. I'm not a bad person. I'm not going to do that. You had the same experience. You're good kids. And the core group were good kids too. Christopher is a very good boy. David, all the Davids that you know down here, David Joe and David Bowie and of course Michael, you could trust, that. Couldn't say the same for his brothers, couldn't say the same for your brothers, couldn't say the same for Christopher's brothers, and certainly couldn't say that same for Johnny's sisters, Julia and Jackie. They were fucking demons. Not to mention his mother. And not to get bogged down, but so we have to be very careful now. And yes, I know Michael's picture is not here, but he's right here. Michael, yeah, I'm going to be the picture of John with the light bulb on my head that's shining right on my head back there. That's like perfect. Picture of John with the guitar in bed with the light bulb shining on his head. All right. I like that, Michael. Thanks, Lena. That's okay. This is just the beginning of the real revelations coming now. And we are just being really careful and selective. So that means none of this is a rush. You're very agitated. And Christopher, don't get mad at her. She's doing very difficult work with us. This is very difficult for her. She's finding out that, she thought people loved her. And, they're insane. They don't love anybody. And that's where you can't take it personally. I don't want to, and I'm trying not to. No, and you're getting much better at it, but well, no buts. You're doing just fantastic, really. You're doing just great. So, but yeah, it's going to be more and more, And come on, let's face it, it's really not a big surprise. Some of these guys that you're finding that out about, and yeah, Lena, you're right. Your intuition was right. Those idiots who want you to be in a movie with them, you're not going to do that. You don't have no desire to be in a movie. Exactly. I thought John was right, and then you realize John would never ask me to go be in a movie with some idiots, some jerks. Every asshole in the world makes films now. You're just gonna all of a sudden there, but you trust him, and that's good. That's really good because, But he quickly showed you, no, Lena, block these people. They're insane. They can read all about it on the blog. We have our own fucking show. We don't need to be in anybody's fucking movie. What are you, crazy? Fucking movie about Paul and Ringo investigating John's murder? What kind of movie is that? They said that they were going to have Paul and Ringo star. They're insane. They're autistic. They're nuts. They're autistic bots. They don't even know what's going on. Some of them can sound very, very lucid. They're not. We showed you last night examples. Again, we showed you examples of a few of the bots, their typical Twitter pages. They don't make any sense. They have nothing but garbage in their brains. That's why everything must go. They're all like this. It's fucked up. And some of them were just like really random, make no sense. And then others were just like, I want to hurt someone badly, and like just these random, statements, and then the next day it's like I'm having eggs and bacon or what, just like what? Like it was very you were shocked because you never bothered to look at these bots pages before. You just watched out for what you and John were posting and for like what me and Michael were posting, and you didn't even get involved with any of the other like so-called the couple of the nasty younger generation that were because of John, jealous of you because of your relationship with John, because they didn't understand it. You blocked them is pretty quickly on, so you haven't really tuned in to the younger generation lately. Just you have, for lack of caring, you don't like them. You haven't liked what you've experienced so far. But last night you got a little bit of an insight. That's why you didn't sleep, honey. You got a little bit of an insight of what's going on in their brains. Absolutely nothing but violence and insanity. That's all they think about. They're very violent. They're all very violent. That generation it's not Generation X. It's worse than Generation Y. It's generation, how the fuck do we get rid of them all? It's okay. Don't get frightened because this is great. And you posting this is great. And they're not looking. They're not looking at you. They don't know to look at you. And the ones that have seen you, you scare them. You frighten them. You're beyond their comprehension. So, and I'm behind you, and Michael is behind you. We support you. So they can tell that they don't know who we are either, but they can tell that we're celebrities. So that impresses them. And they're like, oh, these celebrities are like in tandem with that girl who says she's with John Lennon. What does this mean? And their brains are like fried. Nothing makes sense. And they keep waiting. And Shawnee just every so often maybe likes one or two things that you post on his page. But even when he doesn't, he leaves the most outlandish things up there. He just took two things that John said down. And that's the first time he's ever done that, Lena, because they were so insulting that and Sean does not want you to get kicked off of Twitter. He needs you on there. He needs you on there. That's why he took those down. You're right. He took them down. You noticed that. The only reason was because he was like, if I leave it up, they're going to report her, and I need her up there, so I got to take it down before Twitter catches it. But they were funny as hell. I don't even remember what they were, but John was on a fucking roll, and it was hysterical. It was, I can't remember it either, but it was really funny. It was really insulting. Yeah, like brain dead bot, and then he put that crazy picture up. I don't know what it was. It was very funny. And they didn't even understand it anyway. But they saw it. It was up there long enough for them to see it. Oh, Sean knows what he's doing. Sean can tell how much time he has to do everything. So this is all very confusing to them, but I'll tell you, it's leading a trail. It's providing a trail to all of them. Because if you could see what it looks like from the big picture in the outer realms, yes, I have a view of this, and I'm showing it to you too. It looks like one of those big maps in these space stations that's up on the wall. One of these big lit up maps, and certain dots all light up at with a certain amount of stimulation, a provocation, and you have all these. Oh my God! There's a whole segment that just looked at that. And so you're our tracker. You're our tracker, Lena. You and John are tracking, and that's what ends up happening. And you get so tired, and you're all wound up, and then you have to pass out for like a half an hour, and then you got to get up again. And Johnny hates waking you up. He hates it. He really hates it. We do too. But we got to get you at that moment where you're in between stations. I don't know how else to say this. This is making sense. I know it is. Please don't be afraid, okay? I'm not afraid. What is somebody going to come here and no. No one's going to do anything to you. We did great work today. I'm here to tell you that it's done. The day is done. And We're not just saying that. Now, that being said, we won't ever tell you if you feel like exploring something with John, and if he feels that you're energetic enough to take something on. We never stop you, but you always have the right to say, listen, I need to chill right now. I can't really do this right now. And I hope you do that. I do. I've definitely had moments, right, John, where, well, probably not as many. You're always trying, so I don't know. I'm not going to push you so hard. Whatever, honey. I'm all right. I'm fine. Well, the way you snapped at Christopher, that's because we're both fucking fried. So I want to apologize to him. Sorry, Chris. And we're both fried because I kind of pushed it a little bit. I pushed the envelope a little bit. But now we're definitely going to just fucking chill the hell out and, take a couple of Benadryls even and go down for a while. And everything's good. Everything's fine. And please don't be scared. Now, Mom was saying before we turned the camera on, well, God knows what it's going to be like at the end of this whole road. Maybe all that will be left is Lena and John. It could happen if everyone keeps failing these tests. It could just be Mother and Father and Lena and John. And then whether or not to start over again, we don't know. And Lena said, well, maybe Mother, when it gets that far, maybe Mother and Father will say, well, we might as well get rid of them too, because that was what. And this is Amy. Yes, that's never going to happen. You're perfect. You are both perfect. Really, you are. There is no way in hell you're going anywhere, not without me and Dad. No way in hell. But everybody out there better be paying really good attention here, because we're looking at the obliteration of the entire humanity scale. And, if it gets to that, I don't know if we'll start it over. It might not be worth it. We might just take our good old selves, the four of us, and, just spread out with the animals. Because the animals are great and they don't do anything wrong. They're a perfect example. And when you're in the outer realms, you even have the option of becoming one of them, of becoming a shapeshifter, becoming a wild horsey and running around the hills for a while, if you want. I think Lena and John and me and Michael prefer to ride them, though. We like that partnership of the species. So I don't know how this is really going to play out, is I guess what I'm just saying. And Michael, I took over again. Yeah, I'm like sitting here with this fucking light bulb on my head. I guess everyone just forgot about me again. I didn't forget you, Dad. Yeah, I know. I didn't forget you, Dad. Daddy. Now, see, this is the thing. You guys are so great. Like, you guys are so great. Like, what went wrong? I don't know. I'm still nuts from this whole thing, It's ponderous that this happened. Well, you're overthinking again. So this is what gets everyone into trouble. The thinking. Thinking is rough stuff. But yeah, oh, we would never hurt anybody or anything. The four of us, we never would, and neither would Christopher. He really wouldn't. Neither would David Joe. Neither would Bowie. We know that our core group are good kids. So I don't think it ever really would get down to, I mean, unless one of those lunatics does something really insane over the next couple of months or something, but I don't really see that happening. You like that to change Christopher's status or David Joe's status? I doubt it. What would they do? I mean, I think they'd have to kill you, Lena. And, if they do that, well, I don't know what to say, but No, obviously, Ma, you don't. Go ahead, Michael. All right. So what we're saying is, it's going to be a very, very small core group, though. It's like no celebrities worthy of this thing. I swear to you, there's like the stars are. None of them are worthy of this thing. What about Garcia? Well, John's showing you his face because it's a pit. Tis a pity. Tis a pity he's a whore. Really? Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about, Daddy. But yeah, I know you do. So, um, the sellout thing is a prime. The whole sellout thing. Like, all right, Freddie Mercury, the way he sold out was huge. He sold out to Satan himself. I don't know. It's disgusting. But anyway, we want you to have fun. We want you to have a good time. Basically, is what we mean. Christmas is coming. You got everything to look forward to. Christopher's doing great. He's gonna boil that water. Christopher, why did you not boil the water for the plumbing? That's gonna be your ticket, and you throw a little vinegar and baking soda in first, and then you dump the pot of water in. Just do it. You're gonna save the day with this. Your Lena does everything but do it for you. Shit. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, Lena, those fucking lunatics that want to make that movie, forget it. But you thought about it only because of John. But you even kind of whined. You were like, John, what do you, I don't want to do anything like that. Yeah. You have no interest in celebrity, which is the way it should be. Celebrity is the worst fucking thing going. It's horrible. Who wants to be known like that? You know? I guess, yeah, bots, idiots, morons, shitheads, devil worshippers. It's important to them. Their ego, their fucking super ego. No way, baby. That's not the way we are. That's not the way God created us. Because yeah, there's got to be a God. And this is like God saying this. Yeah, that's the thing. We didn't ask for this either. Here we are. We were here first, me and Mike, but as God and Mother, but it's like, how did that happen? We don't know still. And we weren't babies. We were, fully. Don't freak out, Lena. It's just it's a nutty thing. Yeah, but there's a lot of good. Just in this room, there is so much good. Just in your life and the way you've lived your life, there is so much good. So we have to just believe in the good, and persevere. That's all we can do. And know that we are not the dark side and that we are working aggressively to eliminate the dark side. And we are winning. And it's going great. So let's just have a good night. Is that good? Yeah. You're uptight. A little. It's a lot, It's all right. Everybody needs to see this, Lena, because the ascension is still happening and it is not slowing down anytime fast. So go.